You reach into a drawer for a pad or a tampon without a second thought. It takes 10 seconds. You barely register it as a decision. But the real answer is far stranger than convenience. That 10-second habit is standing on top of nearly 200,000 years of women solving the exact same problem with almost nothing at all. For most of human history, there was no drawer, no aisle, no packaging, just a body doing what it's always done, and people figuring out what to do about it. Anthropologist Beverly Strassman spent years living among the Dogon people of Mali, studying how women there experienced menstruation in a setting closer to how humans lived for most of history. Her research revealed something modern life quietly hides. Because Dogon women had far more pregnancies and far longer periods of breastfeeding, they menstruated far fewer times across a lifetime than most women today, sometimes under 100 times total, compared to the 400 or more cycles common in industrialized nations now. Why does that number matter so much? Because it reframes the entire question. Menstruation wasn't a monthly inconvenience layered onto an otherwise stable existence. For most of human history, it was a comparatively rare event, tucked between long stretches of pregnancy and nursing. So what did ancient women actually do when it happened? The honest answer is that historians and anthropologists don't have a single universal answer, because ancient women didn't have a single universal solution. Evidence points to a wide range of methods across different cultures and eras. Soft moss, folded animal hides, woven plant fibers, strips of cloth, washed and reused. Some cultures developed early absorbent materials remarkably similar in concept to modern pads, just built from whatever the local environment offered. Here's where it gets stranger. Researcher Chris Knight proposed a controversial but influential idea, linking early human menstruation to synchronized behavior within groups, suggesting that shared biological rhythms may have shaped early social bonding and cooperation among women. While this specific theory remains debated among anthropologists, it points to something worth sitting with. Menstruation wasn't hidden away the way it often is now. In many documented traditional societies, it was marked, sometimes ritually, sometimes practically, as a visible part of communal life rather than a private inconvenience to manage alone. That visibility is almost the opposite of how most of the modern world treats it. Kate Clancy, a biological anthropologist who studies menstrual health, has pointed out that the shame and secrecy so many people associate with periods today isn't some ancient universal constant. It's shaped heavily by cultural and religious history layered on top of a biological process. The body hasn't changed. The meaning attached to it has shifted dramatically depending on the century and the society doing the attaching. Consider what that means for something as ordinary as cramps. The physical experience, mild for some, genuinely debilitating for others, has existed for as long as the biology has. But how a person is expected to respond to that pain, silently, privately, without complaint, versus supported, accommodated, even ritually honored, has varied enormously across human history. Modern convenience solved a real logistical problem. Reliable, comfortable products exist because ancient improvisation, moss and cloth and hide, eventually gave way to industrial design. That part of the story is genuinely a win. But something else got lost along the way. The open acknowledgement. The sense that this is simply something bodies do, the way eating or sleeping is something bodies do, rather than something to be managed in silence and disposed of quickly, out of sight. So the next time you reach into that drawer, you're not just grabbing a product. You're standing at the very end of a long, quiet lineage of women who used moss, hide, cloth, and community to handle the same biological reality you're handling right now, just with far less shame attached to it than history sometimes assumes. You reach into the drawer again next month. It still takes 10 seconds. But now you know it's the newest chapter in one of the oldest stories your body has ever told.